Yeah, I think it's never one way. I think our players showed a good reaction in the second half, and so the way we played also affected the fans. And in the second half, I really saw that there were a lot of Ghanaians in the stadium. They really pushed us further, and we created a lot of chances through them. And I really want to thank them for their support. It really helped us, and yeah, we will try to give it back to them in the next game. Unfortunately, we couldn't score on all our chances, especially in the second half. But yeah, hopefully we can do it in the next game.
Yeah, go ahead. Hi, sir. Mark Wilberforce from the BBC World Service, coach, president, senior. How, in the recruitment process from players in the diaspora for the team, there seems to be like a very promising list of players in the diaspora. How's the process been in terms of, I don't want to say necessarily convincing them, but just maybe presenting them with the proposal of representing their country of origin? Has that been a task, or has that been going well?
I mean, that's always been a task. The first time I was appointed as a manager in Ghana, it was 2021. We already surely started that process, and where we convinced players like Antoine Semenyo, Tariq Lamptey, Iñaki Williams. So we have really good experience with that. Surely if anybody is from Ghanaian descent, it's always interesting for us. So we have a big database. We're always looking on their matches, and especially those who play in higher leagues. We observe them, we try to get in touch with them, and to see if they would be available in case we will need them. And yeah, luckily we already found good ones, but we were surely still looking. And I think the more successful we are, we have to be honest, the more successful we are, the more will appeal. Yes. And the more interesting we also are for the players. And surely it's, I think, tougher to, for example, represent England on the national team and maybe Ghana, but Ghana is also not that easy. We have a lot of talent, so we always make them aware about pros and cons and what and worst case scenarios also. I think it's very important. But surely we're always open if anybody from Ghanaian descent wants to play for Ghana.
Yeah. Nathan Kwao here from Sporty FM in Accra. Coach, yesterday Ibrahim Suleimana joined the squad from Atalanta. I just want to find out, what are you expecting from him? What do you want to see from him in tomorrow's third and fourth place game?
Same like I want to see from everyone. So every time it's commitment, and we are looking for this training today, and then at the end we will decide if he was going to play or not. Yeah, very yeah. Yes, is it sad? I don't know, but it's not yeah, a good situation. He was having problems with the visa, and it's really difficult for some of our players to enter England. I think it shouldn't be like that, and especially on the national team level. So even players from us, which I invited, got rejected. So we ended up in the last game just being 17 players. I think out of the 24 I invited, and luckily Ibrahima, who plays in Italy since 2 years, got his visa after, I don't know, 2-3 weeks or so, and I'm happy for him at least to come and join the team, and let's see how he is. We train today, and then after this we know more.
Right. Let me ask Henry this question. The atmosphere, the build-up, the fans, the engagement, is there's rivalry, but it's positive rivalry, no toxicity, nothing, especially for the players. What do you think the players will take away from this experience of the Unity Cup?
Well, I spent a few moments with them after the game on the pitch,
yeah.
And I realized they were having conversations with each other. Some of them play at club level. For instance, the of them played with Ndidi at Leicester for a number of years. So they have that relationship. Even outside the club level, they live in the same communities. Some of them, virtually those who were born in Europe, virtually grew up in the same communities. in the black communities, and they have a relationship. So I think that, you know, watching the game as a fan, you enjoy being a fan, but these players also give their all on the field, and after that they come back to their friendship, you know. So it is always a healthy competition between the players on the pitch, and then also those of us who are in the stands. I've got friends in Nigeria. My brother, who is the comms director of the NFL, invited me to the hotel the morning before the game. I went there to meet him, and then he listened before kickoff. I also did the same, but once the game starts, you defend your country, you fight for your country, and you wish yourself the best of that. So I think more of these games would help us bridge the gap. It will also help us build a healthy community outside the pitch and then also on the pitch.
Thank you. Any more questions, please? One, two more. One, two, and then we'll let them know.
All right, Coach, I don't know if you've already said this, but fans just want to know, will you be making any changes ahead of that game tomorrow against Trinidad and Tobago?
It's like always, and you won't find a coach who will say, I'll do this or do that before the game, because we don't want Trinidad to prepare as good as they can, and so I can't answer this question.
Yeah, that's you have to keep his cards close to his chest. So
Totally understandable. Totally understandable.
Last question, final question. You wanted to ask a question? Yeah.
So, in particular, Brandon Thomas Asante, he scored for you. Like, how have you felt his performance has been so far, and his influence in the Ghana team has been sweet?
So first of all, it's a very good person, very good character. He always gives everything, and I find it hard always to look just at that guy who's scoring the goals, because there were people who assisted him, who had pre-assists, who defended well. So in all, I think the second half was good, and I was very, very satisfied with that. And this is what we're looking for also for the next match.
Okay, please. One last question. I'll just grab the gentleman, and then we leave you.
Even, well, sorry, there's others actually coming. I've asked the question, so maybe.
Sorry?
I mean, I was going to ask a question, but I just noticed two other colleagues came, so maybe
Yeah.
they can.
Do they want to ask any questions?
Okay. Then,
Right, take them out.
you alluded to it a little bit, but especially yourself, coach, as a former player and coach, can you talk about the Unity Cup in the sense of the rivalry between Ghana and Nigeria? Because culturally, and my colleague even at the front here, she alluded to it, it's one of the most fiercest rivalries culturally, whether it's jollof, whether it's music, whether it's football, yet the fans, the players, they have such a respect and love and synergy for each other. I think it's seldom replicated with any other rivalry. And I was wanting to ask if you can maybe expand on it, you can talk about that rivalry, because in many ways it is a rivalry, and at the same time there's a camaraderie with that as well.
I think so. So first of all, especially when it comes to in general, any African countries or from the Caribbean, first of all, especially if we are outside our continent, we are brothers and sisters. We share the same struggles, and we suffer the same things, about the same things. So, but surely it's always, we're neighbors, but we're also rivalries. So we share a lot, and there's always a rivalry who's better. I think, yeah, it's quite even between Nigeria and Ghana. I'm not quite sure, but if I look at the World Cup appearances and also African Cup winners, it's quite even. I would, even though we lost, I would like to say maybe we're a little bit ahead at the moment. But yeah, it's a good competition. It's a good competition. It's pushing each other. We are pushing each other up. Congratulations on this moment again to Nigeria. They also did really, really well, and they deserve to win the last time. But it was really, really close. I think everybody saw that it could have easily been a draw. So it's a good competition, and yeah, we have to keep it up. And but at the end, we come together as friends.
Maybe some of you don't know, the last time Nigeria played Ghana at this stadium before, yes, Wednesday, Ghana won 4-1, and the Nigerian coach was sacked, even though it was a friendly. But I think in the last few years, it's become, and it's the current, is Eguavon, you know, I'm sure you
Yes.
Eguavon was good. But these days, it's more friendly natured, you know, rivalry, but no toxicity. So I think it's good, like the coach said, brotherhood.
Lucky for
We
me.
face the same struggles. You won't get sacked. We face the same struggles, and for me, it's been brilliant. The atmosphere at the stadium has been absolutely terrific. Thank you, coach. Thank you, Henry.
Sorry, just one more question.